co-host. I'm going to say co-host. Oh, Sam Greenfield. Yes, Sam Greenfield, the greatest speaker you'll ever hear. And my name is Andy Jensen. I'm just in the background listening to the ramblings and the intense intellectual content of these two giants. So, welcome to Off Night.
All right, Andy. All right, Andy, you're good. You did your job, my friend, except I asked you to come in at the music. You came in when you saw your picture on the screen. So
You see, that's when because I played rugby, I have that scramble sort of sensibility. So I just go with what's there, man. I just go with what's there.
all right. Well, we'll work that out somehow. Maybe we'll. You know what? I bought a new video program for the computer. Unfortunately, it's for my old computer, so I hope I can translate it into. But I may just pre-record that and put that on at the beginning. So yeah. I got to work on that this week. So
I think now recording's going.
What's that?
Do a pre-recording. I think we should get that going. Yeah, because
you like the pre-record. You don't like the live stuff as much.
As we go on, we may need a pre-record because I got that scrambled brains mentality. I'm just going with stuff.
Well, you know what? We can also do weeks ahead of time too. So if something happens to you, like you get Alex Trebek. You get Alex Trebek.
That's right.
We'll have weeks of programs in the can. Exactly.
Yes, Andrew's on the road. We don't exactly know where he is. We're going to pre-record what he's saying. There we go.
He's out snipe hunting again.
He's snipe hunting again. Yeah, that's right. He's frozen out there in the fishing lane. Somewhere he'll thaw out soon. Okay.
Okay. All right.
When I get to ice,
we don't want to waste all this knowledge because if we bring up stuff that's trivial, our regular co-host will always have the right answer for this stuff. And if not, he'll apologize. He's not even in the Trump era. He will apologize if he's wrong.
Yeah.
How about we welcome back to the off night, Sam Greenfield, everybody. There he is. All right.
Mm-hmm. I just read that Cuomo is not going to the Biden inauguration because of threats made to the state capitol in Albany.
Oh yeah, I want to see him bare chested with the bullet vest.
That's all I dream about. That's all I dream about.
Strapped across his chest. Oh yeah.
Oiled up and ready to go.
Look at me, Mom, top of the world.
Top of the world. There you go. Perfect.
I don't mean to cause bragging rights for my hometown, but our badass governor has gone through this 3 times already. Has gone through the guns overtaking the Capitol.
PTSD syndrome. She keeps it's like, oh, I'm ready to go. When are we guys going? I'm ready to go.
And did you hear
this friend of mine calls me? He lives in Tennessee, and he voted for Trump. And so I'm going to. He doesn't know this. I'm going to drop him as a friend. Because he won't let up.
Can we call him up here? Let's get him. Let's dump him right here.
Oh no, he'll hang up. I told him I'm dumping him. No. But he said to me, what do you think of those people who had the courage to go into the state capitol? To the Capitol. I said, the 20,000 people and the 9 cops. Oh, they're very brave. I said, you know who these guys are? These are guys who watch porn and pass out. Okay. That's who they are. And what it proves, and I've said this all along, Trump is a punk, okay, because he gets other people to fight his fights. And when you hear these people and they say, well, this is all Black Lives Matter. Can you see my hand? There weren't that many black people there.
Yeah.
Okay. And Antifa, they're stupid, so they don't understand this, is not an organization.
I know.
It's not an organization. So they're idiots, and no one has the nerve to call them idiots.
You see my
but if I was running the country, those people who were arrested, remember how Mussolini wound up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Upside down.
That's how they would wind up.
In the town square.
Not murdered, but hung upside down by their feet and beaten like a rug. Beaten like a rug and forced to blow Hulk Hogan.
Hey, Sam, calm down with that bipartisanship.
Sam.
I'm trying to keep it fair.
We're supposed to be the group of forgiveness, So.
You know what's funny? Everybody thinks and justifiably so, that Randy Quaid is nuts, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Well, no,
He-
I'm not arguing that point.
He's batshit
Dennis
crazy.
Quaid is also an ardent Trump supporter.
I know.
So you think to yourself, so you can look normal and still be, you don't have to wear one of those ridiculous hats. You don't have to talk like, well, I don't know, but my favorite was Jordan Klepper when he interviews this guy, and the guy says, I want to know why Obama wasn't in the Oval Office on 9/11. That's my favorite of all time.
That is the best one. That is the best one.
Dumber than a post. Oh,
Well,
man.
Leno was pointing out how dumb we are 20 years ago.
Mhm.
When he was doing his street walking.
Jaywalkers.
Jaywalking.
Street walking is my ex-wife's job.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Okay.
Well, what I always thought about jaywalkers, for those who are listening and don't know, he goes up to people and he asks them a question like, where's the war in Vietnam fought? And they go, Paris. He finds idiots. My theory is that when they first started doing that, probably 18 out of the 20 people they spoke to knew.
Yeah.
But the ones you saw
were the funny ones. Yeah.
right. I think they had to go through a lot less people as time went on.
I think you're right. I think, in fact, I think that this last 4 years they've been breeding them.
Yeah, with Jimmy Kimmel, I have a feeling he just goes out the door and just gets him right off number 1,
Hey,
2, 3.
Can I talk to you for a minute? Yeah. My favorite thing on Kimmel is mean tweets.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Oh my! George Clooney's face looks like a monkey's vagina, and he looks up. He goes, "That's not nice."
That's not nice.
But I forget who it was. It was a woman. Kate Blanchett. Somebody said something bad about Blanchett, and she gave him. She went, "Oh yeah, well, here's a little something for you." He gave him a bird. 2-time Oscar winner Kate Blanchett flashes the bird.
I love. Did you see Kate Blanchett in the it was the extras with
Ricky Gervais?
Ricky Gervais. She was on there kind of going like, she was playing a nun, and they were talking about her kind of go like, it's about she's just completely spraying up a storm in a nun outfit. It was the most hysterical thing I ever saw.
She's great.
Yeah.
And that show was very good. But she's great. Very, when you see, what was it, Blue Jasmine?
Oh yeah.
For which you won an Oscar. And you think to yourself, how does someone act that well that they can be that horrible a person over an hour and 50-minute movie?
Yeah, no kidding.
But Woody Allen's actress says, I know that's not a word you'd use now, they win Oscars.
Yeah.
They were, Diane Keaton, Diane Weiss twice.
Yep.
Mira Sorvino.
Yep.
Kate Blanchett.
Yep.
They win Oscars, man. I don't think an actor of his has ever won an Oscar. I think, I'm right about that. Yeah.
Of actor whose?
His material is something to work with. So it's.
I always loved Diane Weiss in Bullets Over Broadway.
Yeah.
When she says to Tracy Ullman said something snarky to her, and she said, when was the last time someone gave you a hernia?
Yeah. I always like when she did the speech about Kustra. Is there a mud in here?
Don't speak. Don't
speak.
Don't
speak.
And who's great, and I don't think gets the recognition he deserves, is Chaz Palminteri.
Oh yeah. Man,
that was a brilliant show. Yeah.
What has he not done that's been great?
Well, one of the great moments in film to me is Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
When the bikers come into his bar. And he says, yeah, let him have a couple of beers. And they act like assholes. They spray the bartender with beer, and he goes, you got to leave. And the guy says, get the fuck out of my face. I'm not leaving. And he locks the door. He goes, now you can't leave.
Yes.
And the look on their faces, they know they're about to get the shit whipped out of them. and they do. It's wonderful. And when he grabs that one guy at the end by the hair, he goes, "Look at me. I'm the one who did this to you." Would have been great if the guy said, "I know. Let go of my hair."
Oh, my hair. Ah, quang, quang.
And the kid
Yeah.
who played De Niro's son went to jail for 8 years.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what he did, but it was
Well,
some really
you know,
stupid
I
thing.
feel bad for him. I do, and I'll tell you why. What happened was he was with another guy, and they were going to break into someone's house or something like that, okay? But the guy he was with was a jackass, and he shot and killed somebody. But that kid was not, you know, he didn't think anybody was going to get killed. And the judge admitted that. But that's the charge. That's the charge against you, that you're, you know, an accomplice to a murder. But the guy who killed got 25. He got 8, and I think he was released in 5. On the judge's say so. He said, "You have to, you know, you were there. You know, you can't tell me I'm an innocent in all this. You broke into someone's house."
Yep.
And then he shot the judge, which wasn't a good move, I don't think.
No, it's
Just from a legal
Yeah.
point of view.
yeah,
I
kinda
told
like,
you I told you what Jonathan Groff said, right? I hate repeating myself. On Blackish, what he said about Trump.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was funny. Oh God, give him a chance.
Go ahead, say it again for the people that didn't view
Well,
that.
Paul Reggio, who hates Trump with a passion that's almost operatic, he said, "Trump is the worst goddamn crooked, miserable, racist piece of garbage. I can't stand him." And Groff goes, "Oh, come on, give him a chance." Oh,
Yeah,
come
so-
on.
So here we are.
Going back to Bullets Over
Oh,
Broadway. My
he's
favorite
busy
line
now
is Chaz
stealing
going,
stuff out of the White House. Oh God.
yeah.
Oh yeah. That just, man, that just.
Well,
takes the
they're
cake.
going to get it back, but it's just
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
here's his census. The
His
census.
census,
what they-
yeah, his census director resigned.
Yeah.
Oh no, there goes the empire.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah,
guy
who's going to
that
miscount
does
black people now?
the Washington Review is he's a press guy. He says he walks in there. There's no news conferences anymore. There's nobody in the White House left. It's
Well,
just like
McEnany
Trump
resigned.
wandering around. What's
Well,
that?
they are all supposed to be gone by now.
Yeah, they are.
I told you I have a cousin who's a film editor in LA.
Uh-huh.
So at 8:00 this morning, she sends a Facebook thing that says 51 hours. And in the afternoon, I'm reading Facebook, 43 hours.
Yeah.
And then this evening, 36 hours.
Yeah.
The
Well, he's signing pardons for money. This is what is going on.
Hey,
He's
Well,
signing pardons for
$2
money.
million. I believe that's illegal. Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal, but how do you prosecute the president? You know,
Well,
that's the whole issue of it all.
No, you prosecute Giuliani, who's his bag man, who actually made the offer. That's who you.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. People who live in New York, and I'm one of them, but people who live in New York, they've known Giuliani was a douchebag for years.
right.
Okay. And I told you the story about how he got to be Person of the Year because they couldn't put Bin Laden on the cover of Time magazine because people in New York would have burned down news kiosks. They really would have.
Yeah.
So they had to use that yutz. And, you know, he's been a screw up for a long time. You know, he got credit for lowering crime in New York, but crime was going down under Dinkins. It was going down when he came in. You know, I mean, he hired some good people. He hired Bratton, you know, to be the police commissioner, which was a great move. And the second Bratton started getting any publicity, he fired him.
Get that scrambled brains mentality. I'm just going. Are you
I don't know
recording
what
my
that
words?
was.
That
That was actually Andy earlier.
yeah, that was
That
Andy
was me
earlier.
earlier,
Yeah,
yes.
that was me
I'm
slipping
on
on
a loop now. I'm on a loop. Anyway,
I've driven on the loop, but
yeah.
So the Azar, Secretary Azar of DHHS,
yes,
he resigned,
right.
and he is going to keep his position until noon on the 20th. In the letter, he says that. So the only reason he wrote the letter was to slam Trump. I thought that was pretty classy.
Well,
he said, basically,
I don't
the letter.
know if you heard about this,
Yeah.
but Trump called Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader of the House, and called him a pussy.
Oh, good.
because 10 Republicans voted for impeachment.
Oh, I thought maybe he called him a pussy because he wanted to grab him.
Yeah. Oh.
By the vagina.
He wanted to grab Congress by the vagina, so he had to have one.
Yeah, can you imagine? You know, a friend of mine who lives in where does she live? Cleveland. She said, I'm on a new diet and it really works. She said, I eat a nice meal, I wait an hour, I imagine Trump naked, and I throw up.
That's perfect.
She said,
it's the Trump diet plan.
That's the Trump diet. She said, the only problem is I'm always hungry, but it's worth it. And I still don't think Melania will not leave him.
No. I don't think she can now. I think she's
she has no. Where's she going to go? What's she going to do?
I think it's a contractual agreement now. You know,
I think
I believe that's prostitution.
I think she'll move in with Ivana and Marla. Don't those two live together?
Yeah. What's going to happen to that kid?
Ivana's my favorite. You know, Ivana. They asked her how did she meet Donald Trump, and she said, "I met him when I was on the Czechoslovakian ski team at the 1980 Olympics in Montreal." The problem with that is those were the Summer Olympics. And the other problem is she wasn't on that ski team. But except for that, it rings of accuracy.
Exactly.
There you go. Well, it almost sounds like she was a part of the college conspiracy there.
So
Marla Maples is the only one of his wives who I thought was genuinely pretty.
Yeah.
But the Trump men seem to go for I'm trying to think of a nice word, skanks.
Well, they're it's all part of the original pornography that they're being shown as kids.
Eric Trump's wife Lara, she looks like a doppelganger for a blow-up doll. And do I have to go into detail about Kimberly Guilfoyle?
Trump would have mail order brides, but his kid thought that meant you order them from a post office.
What do you think? What do you think Melania was?
In Reseda,
What do you think? Melania was the Bachelorette going to hell. I mean,
they got. Hey, he's going to pardon. I hear he's going to pardon up 50 people. That's if they'll be in the swimsuit competition. If they decline that, no pardon.
I also read that they are editing out his appearance in Home Alone 2.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't anything anyway. That appearance meant nothing for the film.
Well, you know why he got in, right?
Bullshit appearance.
No.
You know why?
No.
Why?
He owns the Plaza Hotel. It was done in the Plaza Hotel.
Oh,
but he said, you can't use the hotel unless I'm in the movie.
No, I see.
He was in... for the same brief amount of time, he was in Zoolander.
Oh, God.
They interviewed him,
Well, I think he is also in Eddie, which is a...
Is that
where she plays the coach of the Knicks?
Yeah.
Is that the Whoopi Goldberg coaching film?
I believe he's in Eddie. I don't know if they've been able to get him out of it yet, but I believe he's in Eddie.
Well,
that was in New York.
Whoopi Goldberg is a very talented actress. But her judgment is really dreck, really bad. I mean, like a year and a half ago, she's like, well, I've known Donald for years, and no, it was Mel Gibson. She said, I've known Mel Gibson for years, and I'm telling you, he's not a racist or an anti-Semite. Well, then you're an idiot. You're a moron. You're a great actress, but that's all you got going for you. That's it. I believe that the little bulletin for you, the Nationals have signed John Lester. All right. We've been a great crowd. Thank you. Your next act.
John Lester, the Major League pitcher.
Yeah, no, John Lester, the man who directed A Hard Day's Night. Yes,
Oh,
John
okay.
Lester, the pitcher. Yes,
Whoa. Gotta think
yes.
about this.
Yeah. Well, they got Max Scherzer, and they got Strasburg. And
Yeah.
if Lester has anything left, it'll be a nice 3-top there.
Yeah, they
Max
look pretty good.
Wow.
You know, I'm not used to. First of all, Washington went decades without having a team, but I'm not used to having a team in Washington where the owner spends money. This is a big dynamic change for me. This guy goes out and spends money. And by the way, not a well-known story. Trump went to the World Series when it was in DC,
Yeah.
and he asked for free tickets. And the owner said, no, you're rich. Pay your way. He said, no, we got hardworking fans here who, you know, these World Series tickets are expensive, and they're giving up something sometimes. No, I'm not giving you a free. No. So he sat in some wealthy guy's, you know, box. I think it's the first time he's ever sat in a mailbox, but you know, and by the way, didn't take his son Barron to the World Series.
That's bullshit.
Well, he's a creep.
How old is Barron?
How old is he?
He's 14.
Yeah, he's like
15.
15, 14, 15.
By the way, he's 6'4".
It can't be. He can't be.
Why
Trump's
wouldn't he
kid.
be? His dad's 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3", and the wife is 5'11". Yeah,
Yeah, he's going to be a tall
Oh.
kid. That's for sure.
is a tall kid. Yeah.
Wow.
You were saying something about him, Andy? Why can't he?
Well, I didn't realize that Trump was so tall, so I'm kind of like, oh, I thought Trump was like a short guy.
No, that's my bailiwick, baby. No. Well, actually, Trump is no longer 6'3". As one gets older, one gets shorter. He's now 6'2", but he still says he's 6'3", because if 6'2" and 239 is obese. That's the truth. That's why. You know, I think I told, did I talk about Geraldo Rivera's birthday? Speaking of people who lie about stuff.
No.
I had a girlfriend years ago. I think it was 1902, and her birthday was July. Notice no one laughed. And her birthday was July 3rd. So I got her a gift, and in the card, I wrote, here are some famous people whose birthdays are that you share with them. And one of them, and I looked it up in the almanac, you know, information, please, almanac. One of them was Geraldo Rivera, July 3rd. So I'm watching something, and Rivera's on it, and he talks about, it's such a great thing for me, you know, as an American, to have my birthday on July 4th. And I thought, wait a minute, the almanac is never wrong. You know, they vet their stuff until their hands bleed.
Except for the
So
19.
he actually changed his birthday on his birth certificate.
Wow.
And his rationale was, well, you know, my mother is, you know, from a foreign country. She's from Puerto Rico, from a foreign country. That's probably where Trump got it. And she, you know, and so she got confused. And I thought, you know, whenever I start to think that maybe my ego is a little out of whack, guys like him make me realize I'm doing fine.
You're doing good.
You know, sure, you know, I may get a swelled head every once in a while. Well, of course, again, that's from watching softcore, but that's not the point. You know, the fact that this guy would change his birth date. And by the way, you know his real name is not Geraldo Rivera. This is no joke. It's Jerry Rivers.
All right.
But he changed it to Geraldo Rivera because at the time, in the middle 60s, ABC TV, WABC in New York, was hiring Hispanics. So he changed it. And his big claim to fame when he started out was he exposed a horror show at a home for the mentally disabled, Willowbrook. and my wife pointed this out to me, Barbara did. I didn't know this. It was good that they closed it down, but when they closed it down, they didn't put these people in other places. They released hundreds of mentally ill people upon the streets of New York. Hundreds. And that's why you now have the New York Knicks.
You know, Geraldo Rivera did that Al Capone's vault story.
That's my favorite of all time. Oh God.
And my dad was with me I was either at the Improv or the La Jolla Comedy Store. I can't remember which club it was at, but I was doing open mics out there at the time. Cause I mean, that's like, 35 years ago. But anyway, my dad, somebody says, hey, did they open up the vault? Because it was the night they were going to open it up live on TV, and we're all doing shows, where everybody's on stage, nobody's watching the TV. So one of the comics, as we're hanging out, goes, did they open up the vault? What did they find? And my dad goes, they found a bag of mortar and the bones of a Polish bricklayer. And they howled at this joke, for our younger viewers, a Polish joke was, sort of like a blonde joke of the.
That's okay.
Time. But anyway,
that's great.
So my dad gets a huge laugh from all the comics. It had to be 3 years before he would stop telling that joke. Everywhere you saw him. So did you hear what they found in Al Capone's vault?
It's funny.
It is funny, but he just not stop telling the joke. He went to church on Sunday, told the joke. He's back at work. He's telling the joke.
He would tell it in confession.
Exactly. So somebody would hear him talking. He sold furniture, and somebody would hear him saying to a customer, "You hear what they found in Al Capone's vault?" And you hear the other salesman from behind the counter in the lunchroom going, "A bag of mortar and the brick and the bones of a Polish brick."
And this beautiful armoire.
Yeah, exactly.
My other
anytime I hear a Geraldo Rivera story, I think of my dad.
That's a nice memory, though. I think it's a nice memory. Well, when he had a show called Good Night America, late night show just on Fridays. It was pretty good, actually.
It wasn't a news show, was it? It was like a talk show.
No, it was a variety show.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And the name of the show was kind of based on Arlo Guthrie's song "Good Morning America." Good night, America. He did it like that. So one of his guests was Bill Withers, and this is when I discovered how completely full of crap Geraldo Rivera is. Completely, and didn't care that you knew, which I think is amazing. No sense of, oh, geez, now everybody knows I'm an asshole. No. So he has Bill Withers on, and Bill Withers, was going to sing a song, and then he was going to sit down and they would talk. So he introduces Bill Withers, and he goes, this guy is like I'm paraphrasing because it's been 5,000 years, but he says something like, this guy's like a brother to me. This guy, I am so close to him. This is like a second skin. I love this guy so much, and we have been friends for 3 decades. I can't say enough about how close and loving our relationship is. Please welcome Bill Withers. Bill Withers sings Grandma's Hands. You know that song. He sits down, and Geraldo Rivera says to him, so let me ask you something, my dear friend. How's that lovely wife of yours, Denise Nicholas? He goes, well, we've been divorced for 4 years. And I laughed so loud, I woke up people. I'm serious. I burst out laughing. I couldn't get over it. That, to be that exposed. And then he had an afternoon show. That's the one where the Nazi threw a chair and broke his nose.
Oh, yeah.
So he has a comedian's contest, right? And because he's a jackass, he thought it would be funny if after every joke every comic told, he hired a drummer to do a rim shot. After every single joke.
Anybody call him
and
out?
Jackie Mason was one of the judges. And I can't stand Jackie Mason, but I will always I'll always admire him. He tore into Geraldo Rivera over that. He ripped him a new one. He goes, "You're an idiot." He called him an idiot. He goes, "You know what an idiot you are? Do you know how hard it is to do stand-up comedy? These kids are up here trying to win whatever for cocktail amount of money you're trying to pay them. What is it, $50 and a can of soda? And you're doing rim shots. Do you know how humiliating that is to them?" And he looks at the drummer. He says, "Don't do another rim shot. Look at me. I'm talking to you. Don't do another rim shot." And the entire time he's talking, this is Geraldo Rivera. Like he's talking about someone else. But I really admired Jackie Mason for doing that.
Yeah.
For just, I hate when you tell someone a joke who's not a comic and they go, boom, boom. I want to punch him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have no idea how insulting that is.
Yeah.
I said, last time I heard it. So one guy got mad at me. I said, I hate when people do that. He goes, "What do I care?" I said, "Well, because the last time I heard a rim shot, I was in bed with your wife."
No!
And I said, "I think it was your wife." She kept saying, "God, this doesn't feel like him. This feels like a man." And so, yeah. And then when he got mad, I went, boom, boom.
Oh, nice.
Hateful prick. Maybe he's dead. What was the line from The Godfather? I said to someone one time, "I hope so-and-so dies." And he said, "You shouldn't say that." And I always think of the book, The Godfather, when they were going to pay that mafia guy, the one who did, gets killed, the one he shoots when he's very young, Finucci.
Mm-hmm.
And the young Don Corleone goes, "Why should I give him the $300? If he needed $300 for surgery, I wouldn't give it to him to save his life. What did he do to deserve it?" And he doesn't give it to him, and he kills him. And that's why I feel about people that say you shouldn't say that. Why is he my friend? Is the world going to be better off if he's alive? No, he's a piece of crap, and he should die. That way, he won't reproduce. This moment in happiness is brought to you by Saratan. And remember, Saratan spelled backwards is nature's.
Very good. We're in a light show today. Die.
Die, you prick. So are you going to watch the inaugural?
Well,
I watched Obama's first inaugural.
And where Roberts went, Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's I just because of that, I want there to be a transsexual Muslim president one day. Just for those people, just so that their heads will explode.
You may have picked the worst religion to think that there's going to be a transsexual.
But in America, it might be in America.
Well, that's true. Now, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That would be great. So, in other words, you're hoping that the former Ellen Page converts to Islam and runs for president.
And runs for president, exactly. Except, isn't she Canadian? I thought she was Canadian.
Well, that's right. She can't run.
Yeah, that's why.
I interviewed Phyllis Schlafly.
Uh-huh.
This is obviously years ago because she's dead, and she was talking about how much she adored Arnold Schwarzenegger, what a great Republican he was, and what a great man he is, and how important it is the party has people like him in it. And I said to her, "Well, would you like him to run for president?" "No, oh God, no. He's not from here. He's not like us." No, this complete 180. "Oh no, God, no. What are you, nuts? He's a kraut." Jesus, she said everything but that. Everything but. By the way, speaking of Cate Blanchett, that movie, what was it, Mrs. America?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
That was a series. Wasn't that a Netflix series? Wasn't that a Netflix series?
No, Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
Yeah, Cate Blanchett is in it. Yeah, she's good.
And I'll tell you who else was. Everybody was great, but Sarah Paulson in the episode where she dropped acid.
When she Sarah Paulson, period, is a phenomenon.
When she walks up to the desk,
her impressions are just spot on. If you've ever watched
anything.
Oh my God.
But she
Good
walks
boy.
up to the desk at the hotel. I laughed so hard. She goes, "I'm hungry." She's tripping her eyeballs out. She goes, "I'm hungry. Could you tell me where I could get something to eat?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, there's a diner across the street." And she goes, "And where would that be?" And where would that be? And there's another nice moment in that same I think in that same episode when all of Schlafly's people hate Gloria Steinem. She's just the icon. They hate her, and
Yeah.
so they're in the hallway where their hotel room is, and here comes Gloria Steinem, and they are paralyzed with fear. They, like, boy, if I ever see her, I'm gonna. And they're just like, "Oh God, it's her," and they can't take their eyes off of her. I didn't know
Mhm.
she was that close to marrying Rayford Johnson.
Not until that show. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were lovers for. Well, she married. She married Christian Bale's father,
Didn't know that either.
You know that?
and
That's
then
why
he
we have you
died.
on.
Like,
That's why you're on, Sam. You got
Huh?
all you got all
He's
that
the,
information.
he's the guy
You
that has
really
all the
don't
know.
need-
We're just kind of like, yeah, we're just like
you really
staring
don't
at
need
you
all
like,
this information. He knows.
did you know J. Edgar Hoover is gay?
Yes.
I knew he was I knew he dressed in women's clothing. I didn't know that. You really consider that gay?
No,
Well, he
you don't have to be gay to do that.
no, but he
Don't
his,
have to
his
tell
personal
me.
assistant. He had a personal assistant for like 30
If
years.
anybody knows, it's my dear friend Mark Sweetman.
That's
They
right.
don't
Yeah.
call him Sweet Man for nothing, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right. That's right. This beard is a beard.
Tell them for who? Come on, show your courage.
There-
Tell them all about Lady G.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey,
It's almost like Lindsey Graham had this moment. I mean, this gossamer of a moment of being a good person,
yeah.
and now he's
that didn't
back
last
to
long,
being
did
a
it?
prick. He's
Oh,
just.
yeah.
It's like, well, that's enough of that.
he's on
And-
TV, kind of saying like, calling Biden a weak president if he doesn't stop this impeachment.
Yeah, impeachment. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my favorite is for those of you listening who didn't realize how stupid Tommy Tuberville is, the new senator from Alabama, who replaced a civil rights lawyer and PhD, by the way.
Yep.
That's who he replaced. He said, "Why can't they move the impeachment up a few weeks?" Because it's in the Constitution, Professor Numbnuts. That's why. Oh, man.
Somebody,
Yeah.
one of my kids. This is a conversation between my kids now, not my teenagers because they're still into themselves. But my 20-year-old sons are going, "Why don't these guys read the Constitution?" And the other one says, "Why don't they read?"
That's right. Well,
Get them to read. Get them to read first.
That
then get 'em
line
to read
is
it.
funny, but I would love for someone to ask Tommy Tuberville, when was the last time you read a book and what was it? And the answer is My Weekly Reader a book?
Oh yeah.
What was the last book I read? Oh, I read this. My wife got this for my birthday last year. The book is huge. The history of the TV show Modern Family.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And something I didn't realize, I understand that, they go through a lot of auditions to, arrive at the right person. But some of the kids on that show, there were like 120 auditions.
Wow.
And doesn't that seem like an extraordinarily large number?
I think that show
Seems like
goes, I think that show goes off script so much that they really wanted to get the right person.
Professionals.
Yeah. I mean, it was like they're probably taking the chance. They probably ended up with the same people they would have if they auditioned 12. But they just wanted
That's what
to
I
take
think. That's what I think.
But I bet they wanted to take the chance that they were going to find lightning in a bottle. You know what I mean? They were going to find some kid.
I think
that
they
was
did.
unknown. Which one was the unknown that they found?
The only person who they had cast, who was the first person they thought of, and there was really no audition, was Ed O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was it.
Right.
The one who had the fewest people auditioning for the part was Sofia Vergara.
Oh, yeah.
It was her and about 4 other people. But Alex, the brainy kid, 130 people. 130 people.
Yeah.
130 people. I mean, that shows scripts were so great.
Mm-hmm.
Just over and over and it's like when Phil says to his kids, I want you to be inspired, like the black kid who played a tight end in The Blind Side, and Alex goes offensive line, and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, African American.
I must have missed that episode.
And I just heard, I went, that is genius.
That is a great line.
Oh my God, that's just genius.
To me, he wrote a book of philosophy.
Yes.
That was classic.
And when they went to the roller skating rink, and what's his name? Cam.
Yeah.
Cam is really pissed off because everybody's paying attention to his boyfriend, or at the time, I don't know if they were married yet, Mitch's old boyfriend. And he's really pissed off about it. He goes, I'm going to tell you something. I have gone through hoops for these jumpy Protestants. That. Oh God!
I love the episodes where Cam's relatives were in town from Dixie.
Oh,
yeah.
Although I got to tell you something. They turned the sister into she's a crook. She's a thief.
Right.
They turned her into such a crook. I didn't enjoy watching her towards the end of the time, because it was going to be something bad. It was going to be something. It's like Jay's first wife, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to do something shitty, and it was predictable, and that bothered me.
Yeah.
But that show was just.
I love
where they went.
I love that Jay could criticize his kids so much, but his dogs could do no wrong.
Exactly. Yes. His dogs are precious. When they go to the Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Phil says, I'm going to tell you, to the cowboy, he says, I'm going to tell you something. When on your evaluation, I'm going to put somewhat satisfied. And Jay looks at him like he's nuts. He goes, well, the kids liked him.
That was a great show.
That show. I still watch it.
Yeah.
I still watch it.
I think that'll go on too. That's one of those shows too where even though the seasons kind of had an arc and a string to them.
Kids going to college and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there was something that would change during the season. In and of themselves, they're all single episodes that stand alone too.
I loved when
like Seinfeld is like that too.
Every single episode. I loved when Haley was dating a weatherman and his name was Rain or Shine. Isn't there an actor? There's an actor named Rain or Shine, and I'll tell you who he played. You saw My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
Remember the guy on the witness stand, and Joe Pesci is showing him a photo of his own house, and the windows are filthy.
Yeah.
That's Rain or Shine.
Oh, okay.
That's not his real name, but that's his actor's name. That's his acting name.
I've written 6 books for our local community chorus that my wife's a member of. In other words, they give me the 22 songs they're going to sing, and then I wrap a story around it, kind of like they do when they take a rock star's songs and turn them into a musical. I write the book.
By the way, off the subject, forgive me. Do you know where I do? But do you know where Kamala Harris is being sworn in?
No.
Howard University.
Oh, excellent. That's where she went.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm very proud. I told you I do this Zoom meeting every Friday with my fraternity brothers from all eras. I mean, from before me and way after me.
Right.
And the
Are you the
fraternity
oldest or
now,
the-
the last 3 or 4 pledge lines have been virtually all women, which I'm thrilled about, because when they spiel off their their major and everything, I go, they're so much smarter than me. This is embarrassing. This is really. I'm a double major, physics. I said, just shut up. I don't want to know, because the other thing will be like, I discovered the moon. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm the
Okay.
one who decided Pluto was no longer a planet. It was me.
Exactly. Poor Pluto. No respect.
Anyway,
No
I write these plays, and the one year it was called Dial M for Music. And
that's nice.
And what it was the setting was a telethon for a charity, and the charity, I love everything about this, was funny. This is my favorite one I did. It was, the charity was for the tone deaf. They were raising money with a telethon for the tone deaf, and of course, what you could tell that it was for the tone deaf because the jingle they had was like one of those 4 notes, da da da, but they always sang it out of key. And it was very funny because you had to have really good singers to be able to sing out of key every time. You know what I mean? It takes a good singer to sing in key every time, but an even better singer to do it out of key. But anyway, we all had these characters volunteering for this telethon who were, they were neighbors of ours, actors and everything, but they were characters from local news shows. And my wife played you were talking about names, rain or shine. She was the traffic girl, and her television name was Lane Change.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
When you said rain or shine, it reminded me of Lane Change in my.
There was a TV spoof satire with some guys in New York, Eddie Brill, people like that, and it was supposed to be like a talk show, like a late night show. And there was a woman there who was the audience wrangler. And they had a tremendously hard time getting people to come to the show. The show was just starting. No one knew who they were. There was so much competition. So she sees this bus full of tourists, and she gets them off the bus and puts them in the seats, and they're deaf. And so the director finds out they're deaf, and he's before any of this started, he gave them 2 weeks notice because he hates the host. He said, I can't work with this guy. And when he finds out they're deaf, he looks up to the God and he goes, oh, please let the next group be blind, please. Oh man. Oh,
that happened to me once. I was hired to do a bit, like a 30-minute set, and the audience was a bus tour group from Germany, and they all spoke German and no English.
And only German.
Only German. So I had to do 30 minutes of something in front of them. So
Tomorrow Belongs to Me is a good choice from Cabaret.
Yeah. Cabaret. I try to do German accents. I try to do anything. I did German Elvis. Oh, hey,
hey, Andy, you
want some?
Our friend Chili, may rest in peace. Our friend Chili Chalice. That's the reason he would have always said. That's why you have to be able to do a pantomime of your act, is in case you get an audience.
Oh, God. There was a.
Did you know Chili? Did you know Bert Chalice, Chili Chalice? Sam?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
He was the guy that created, when he was at the Tonight Show, he was the guy that created that jaywalking segment we were talking about.
He was dating a girl who I cannot remember now, who I think passed away. She was a Jewish girl from, I think, New York, short, chubby. I'm not helping you at all, am I?
It's kind of hard to visualize.
And we were rooming together in West Palm Beach doing a gig. And she would call him. This was at a time when there was not call waiting. Okay.
There wasn't
And she
anything.
would call, the line was busy, she'd hang up and call. And I'm talking about no wait time, not like, oh, I'll call back in 10 minutes. Hang up, call, hang up, call, hang up, call. And I said to her, you got to leave the phone alone. And there were no cell phones. I said, you got to leave the phone alone. You have to. She goes, why? I said, no one else can make a call. You've done this for 2 hours. I'd like to make a phone call. And she said, well, who do you have to call? I said, whoever it is, the line won't be busy. Now put the goddamn phone down. And so Bert was talking to a friend of mine, and he goes to the friend, he goes, you know Sam Greenfield? And the guy goes, yeah, I know Sam. Yeah, I heard he treated my girlfriend like shit. Am I supposed to kick his ass now or just give him a warning? Or what should I do? And I thought, of all the questions to ask someone, I don't know. Let me flip a coin. I said, here, let me help you. Don't kick my ass. Kick her ass. Okay. 75 calls. I mean, literally like busy, boom, busy, boom. And I told her a joke and she didn't get it. And it was a very easy joke to get. And she said she liked dirty jokes. So I said, okay. This woman goes to the gynecologist because her husband says she's getting a little roomy down there. And she wants to know if she can tighten her pelvic floor. So he puts her legs up in stirrups and he looks in. He goes, I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong. And she says, why'd you say it twice? He said, I didn't.
I didn't.
And so she goes, I don't get that. I go, wow. So I guess that seat on Jeopardy is still vacant.
Yeah.
And evidently that pissed her off.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Chili ended up marrying a gal that didn't need to come to all the shows. So.
Oh, okay. No, this girl was a comic, and I'm trying to think of the right phrase. Astronomically unfunny.
Oh, well, a lot of comic girlfriends who are comic are
astronomically unfunny.
I don't know if it's fair to say that, but I don't want to name any names, but you all know who we're talking about.
Yes, all of them. The only woman I know, I'm trying to think if I'm right about this, who is married to a comic, and she's a comic and she's very funny, is Carrie Louise, Tom Cotter's wife.
Oh, okay.
She's funny. But she was an established comic before they got married.
That's true. Same with Adrian Tolsch. I thought Adrian Tolsch was hilarious.
Yeah, Tolsch was. Yeah. Hi, I'm Adrian Tolsch. My real name is Tolshinsky, but as you know, Jews shorten everything.
My wife went on stage.
The best host ever, the best MC ever was her.
Oh, yeah. My wife has been on stage, I think 2 or 3 times. And one time she was on the road with me. She goes, can I go on? I said, yeah. And she says, well, what about, she wanted to know. I said, don't use my name and take the jokes that you want. She goes, I'll take the jokes I wrote that you stole. I go, all right.
Wow. Oh, see, I thought I have to be quiet. I thought I was the only one with that problem. Like I'll tell a joke. She goes, no, I developed that. I said, I'm going to walk into traffic if you say that one more time. I can't take it.
So that's the secret to your career.
She said to me one time, she goes, I'm going to take all my jokes back and go and do my show. And I go, yeah. And I'll be out in the crowd saying wordy, because she says things that are funny, but says things are funny, but I always tell her, you could say that with half the words and it would be twice as funny. Half the words, twice as funny.
I'm going to take all my jokes that I wrote for you. And so you're doing a 3-minute set.
Yeah. Well, actually, for my wife, it'd be a 9-minute set, but it should be a 3-minute set.
Yeah, for you guys, you can have the premises. I'm taking the punchlines. You can't use the punchlines. You can have the premises, but the punchlines are mine. There we go.
It's a 3-minute set. It feels like 9 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll black out this portion of the show before.
20 minutes with the pauses, 2 minutes without.
Did you ever see that New Yorker cartoon that shows 2 astronauts on the moon, and they're looking at a woman laying dead in a house dress?
No.
And one of them says, "Oh my God, it's Alice Cramden."
Oh.
Ah!
Isn't that genius?
I like that one. I think of Rich Scheidner's line too. Rich Scheidner's got that line where it says, guys don't even like duck hunting. All they're doing is going whack whack. Well, my wife isn't here.
You know, he was married to Carol Leifer,
I remember that.
who is funny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
she had one
there's
of my favorite lines. She goes, "I don't have any kids, at least none that I
Not
know."
that I know of.
And then evidently Rich had such a profoundly positive effect on her that she became a lesbian.
Ah,
Well,
You know, it's funny, but it's fun. You know, the heart's a funny muscle. She said that she had never wanted a woman, never been with a woman, and she was at a party. She saw this woman, and they just fell for each other, and they've been together forever,
yep.
ever. You know, who
What-
can say what makes people do what they do?
What do the Greeks say? The Greek says not a. We're all at some level of yay. It's just a matter of what level we are. So we all have some tendencies towards that.
And
never
then
heard that
there's
when I said
Lindsey Graham, who is a tendency.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Lindsey
Yeah.
Graham. Lindsey Graham's
He's a
like a
Greek.
90%er, hiding 10. You know.
Well, he's 60.
leave him
He's
alone.
67 years old. Okay, I know he's from South Carolina, but there's a very strong gay contingency in the South that's actually celebrated.
Yeah,
Langston
he's still hiding in
Hughes,
the plantation.
Tennessee
Maybe
Williams.
he'll come out
Huh?
soon. He's
There
still
was a
hiding in the
great-
plantation. Maybe he'll come out soon.
There was a great line in a play I saw on Broadway where this girl says to her brother, "Please, you're so gay. You're in Narnia."
Wow, that's good.
What a genius line that is. Oh man. You're so gay, you're in Narnia.
You're in Narnia.
So Cleveland
What
got
did you
jobbed the other day in that football game.
Who? The Browns?
Tom Brady is not going to the Super Bowl. If they stop Aaron Rodgers, they just deserve to win the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's having
Yeah,
some kind
well,
of magical year.
Here's the thing about football on any given Sunday. You know, you just never know which teams are going to show up. I think the Packers have had a great season, but they haven't had a flawless season. They could come in with one of their bad games, you know.
Sure they could.
Well, they lost pretty badly to the Tampa before, but that wasn't the Tampa.
Did they?
This is like they're going into.
Did they lose to Tampa this year?
Yeah, I think this year they lost bad to Tampa Bay.
Well, Tampa lost twice to New Orleans too, and that one turned around. So you just never know.
somebody beat Green Bay, a team that sucked.
Yeah,
Beat them badly, and I can't think of who it is.
yeah. So
Probably
I would say that Green Bay has Lambeau Field at 20 degrees next week.
Yeah, that's all I could think about watching
but-
New Orleans play Tampa Bay. Was that
But
they fighting for the-
Brady played in 4 years at Michigan.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's not a stranger. He's not a stranger to cold weather.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you hear
Well,
me?
he was in, New England too.
reminds me-
So
It reminds me of that line. I think it was 1976. I think I told you this, but I'm old. I forget shit. Dwight Stones, the high jumper, was heavily favored to win the gold medal, and it was raining on the field, on the surface, so he had a hard time, getting traction, and I think he finished third. And he said the most gracious thing. The reporter was trying to let him off the hook, and he said, "Well, how could you possibly expect to win with the rain?" And he said, "Bobby, it rained on everybody."
There you go.
That's a great line. No excuses. No excuses. Although he said, "I'm bitterly disappointed I lost to a commie." No, he didn't say that.
I got an interesting story. I was driving cab in Ann Arbor, and I had Tom Brady in the back of my cab one time.
In the trunk?
Yeah, I was driving around in the trunk when he was drunk.
Anything to
And then I
win,
said,
huh?
"Hey, if you want to win, deflate that football, goddammit." It's like-
Now, was that hit? By the way, kudos to Belichick.
Yes.
Great kudos to Belichick, who
Oh, yeah.
who is a friend of Trump's. Great kudos to him for not
Packers lost,
taking the medal of
Packers-
freedom.
Packers lost to the Vikings, the Colts, and Tampa Bay. That's it.
Well,
Must have been the Colts you were thinking of, but they made the playoffs. So
I love somebody like Mike Ditka, who evidently took too many shots to the head, going, "Well, if you don't like this country, get out."
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. We can talk about this afterwards, but we're out of time now, or we
Oh,
can save
sorry.
it to another. We can save it to another time. All right, and let me wrap it up. We've been on here an hour. Thanks for joining us again on the off night. Don't forget, you guys can join us. I always publish the link. Any comics out there, you're working, and you're not because there's a pandemic. Want to join us? Go ahead, click that link. It shows up on my dashboard, and I'll tell the boys you're here, and we'll include you in the conversation. We do this every Monday night at 8:00. And as always, for Sam and Andy, this is Mark Sweetman. We'll see you again next week, and we're out. And
Ciao for now.
ciao for now.